Hey everybody, welcome back to Passpartout. So, I am not going to do what I did last episode where I said I was going to do the Botticelli but with, what's his name? Jabba the Hutt. How do I remember Jabba? I remember Botticelli but I don't remember Jabba the Hutt. At any rate, I'm going to do something a little bit different here, and it's going to be, I'm not going to say the greatest thing I've ever done, but it's gonna be real close. And I'm also not gonna spoil it. So we're gonna start by just, we're gonna add, this is gonna be another portrait, that's all I'll say. So we'll add in something like this. How about, yeah, we'll hang on. We'll do it very centered in the canvas, I think. So we'll do that. Okay, looks good. And we want to have, let's see, it's either gonna be, what color should it be? We'll start with gray. All right, that's a pretty good gray. That's what I was thinking. Okay, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna add in something like that. Okay, looks decently roughed out for the right size and shape. We're gonna add in something like that. And we need this to actually be more jagged, like so. Okay, we're gonna reclaim a little bit of that space. For people who think like, oh, it's making like a lovely anime head. Well, things are about to get really, really weird, really, really fast. So first we're gonna actually chop off a little bit of that top for now. We also don't want so much in the back there for what I'm doing. Reclaim a little bit of that. There we go, that looks okay. And we want to add in some stuff over here. And we want to add in some. Oops, I lost the reference that I was using in my for this. We're gonna add in something over here, and we're gonna add in some red. That is a really fucking awful looking red, but it's almost perfect. So we'll do that, and I wonder if anyone has caught on to what I'm doing yet. But if so, please don't hesitate to start throwing out some guesses there. We need something like this. All right, we need a bunch of them. We want to have a black line that goes down the middle like so. And let's see if anyone's guessing. Oh, people are guessing. People are just throwing out suggestions so far. That's fair too. That's fair too. Wow, this is a very, very gross looking start, which is only going to get significantly worse as we move on here. We want to have this probably be a little bit thinner. Okay. And we want to start adding some highlights up here. We want to have something like that. We want to have, yeah, that looks pretty close. Maybe not black. We'll do like a real dark blue though. Okay, so something like that is close. And then we want to probably round that out a little bit more, and then round that out a little bit more. Okay, let's make the neck a little bit thinner there. And we want to add in orange. Like so. And like so. Let's see. Who would I be thinking of if I was doing like orange eyes and weird like nose hanging off things that are coming on that are hanging off his face? Who could that possibly be? I don't know. It's a mystery. No, we'll just keep going. We'll just keep going here. We'll give him eyes like so. Okay, that's looking absolutely horrifying. But it's also almost flawless. Oh, Jesus. Okay, let's add in some highlights along the top here. And we want to probably flesh in that part a little bit. We want to add in some shading on that, on the under part of his, I guess, mustache? I've never been able to figure it out, and I kind of don't ever want to either. Alright, so I was gonna do, let's see. Let's actually just do, a couple more changes here. So I'm gonna get rid of some parts of the, painting that I started with. Because it's not working quite the way I expected it to. He looks a little bit more human than I would like, so we're gonna change that by just adding in some more serpenty stuff. Yeah, originally I was gonna do a very posh Framped who would have like very oh, I'm saying that it's Framped now because people have started guessing that it's Framped. I was originally gonna do a very posh Framped with like a frilly like collar, but I'm not doing that anymore. We're just gonna do a regular-esque Framped here. So regular-esque. That's a hell of a word there. Okay, so let's start. Let's see. Yeah, that already looks a little bit better. It was a little too like incredibly fucking disturbing looking beforehand. Now it's just horrible as opposed to like, oh dear God. No, we wanna. Yep, that looks good. Let's add in some highlights on the eyes now. It'll be something like that. Boy, Framped looks pretty goddamn happy at the moment. I don't think I've ever drawn anything quite as like stoked on life as this Framped is right now. Okay, we want to add in a little bit of shading on his nose, I guess is what it is. Yeah, arguably it's enough of a nose there. God, it's so weirdly shaped. Because obviously the nose is the part of Framped that everyone is just like, no, dear Lord. He is by far the ugliest goddamn thing I have ever seen any design for. Just hideous. I don't know what they were thinking when they made him, but they must have made this and then been like, okay, funny joke. This isn't the real thing, right? And then the guy was like, yeah, no, this is King, what is his name? King Seeker Framped. This is exactly what I was going with. And everyone was like, oh, okay, I guess we can work with him. Like the guy that proposed Framp had like a lot of seniority at the company, and no one wanted to say like no to him. So everyone was just like, yeah, okay, looks great, man. We'll definitely run with this guy. And then as soon as that guy left the meeting, everyone just stared at each other and they were like, oh shit. Oh God, what do we do? And then turns out that the guy that made the design for Framp knew exactly what he was doing, because this is just a flawless character as far as I'm concerned. Okay, let's add in some stuff along the top of his toofages there. Yeah, that looks good. Oh god, it looks horrible. That looks great. Okay, so he's also got kind of... Hey, it's the return of the pointillism style that I was doing earlier. Let's add in some stuff there. Add in a couple of highlights on his teeth, actually. It's got very shiny, very, very rotten teeth, this Frampt. Okay, let's actually make his chin a little bit smaller there. Okay, looks good. Let's start filling in his eye, like this part of his eye a little bit. Blue isn't exactly the best color for this, but it's the color that I'm gonna go with. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, dear God, that's so ugly looking. Like, what do you think of my new eyebrows? They call me Sexy Frampt. I do a very, very bad Frampt impersonation. Okay, what is this? Is this just the white color? Yeah, this is that very cold white color that they've given me in this game. Let's give him some reflections on the top of his eyes. There we go. Looks good. Let's add in now some stuff on the under part of his eyeball. We have something like that. And something kind of like that. And he has a little bit of reflections on the under part of his eyelid here. And then we're gonna want to just make that a lot thinner than I currently have it. So something like that looks good. And something like that looks pretty decent. We're gonna want to reclaim this space just a touch. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. He's just horrifying to look at. Okay. Let's use the dark blue back over here for this part of his mouth. And we need to start adding in some shading on this part of his rabbit ear mustache. Guess I could probably also do something like that. And we want to differentiate this with just a little hint of the blue color. And we're gonna want to thin that out a little bit. Yep, okay, that looks good. Alright, let's add in now a couple more highlights here. So, I believe... Oh, that's as white as I'm going to be able to get it. Okay, well, I can work with that, I guess. I wonder... I might be able to... No, it's not quite... Yeah, that's not lighter, but it's... kind of gets the point across to have it be like that. Okay, let's add in some shading on the bottom of his teeth. Here, I'm gonna just shade with black, even though it looks pretty bad. There we go. That's nothing really looks. You can't really go too wrong with like making Frampt look really ugly, as far as I'm concerned. All right, looks good. Let's add in now the just a little bit of like shading along the edges of his stuff. Accidentally like went over here and I chose the wrong color. All right, that looks pretty horrible. Okay, we want to, let's see, his head's not quite right. There we go. There we go, that's looking okay. We want to make this part stick out a little bit more like that. Alright. Yeah, there we go. That looks relatively more Frampt-like. And now, I want to start fleshing in parts of his neck. Which, I guess, can you even say it's part of his neck if it's, like, basically the bulk of him, right? I don't really want to debate Frampt anatomy so much. I mean, my assumption is that these things that are hanging off of his nose are probably like reproductive organs of some kind. So, I mean, just look at him and tell me that he's not like just the foulest being ever. I mean, he lets you shit in his mouth and he pays you for it, so, you know, doesn't exactly have a whole lot of a leg to stand on here. That could have been a really good pun. Eh, whatever. Okay, so we'll flesh that out a little bit more. There we are. Let's reclaim a little bit of the bottom so it's kind of the same size roughly as the other part of over here. That's the wrong color. There we go. That's looking fairly Frampt-like. What sort of orange do I get? Okay, so I get that shade of orange. I can use this like red to add in some shading on his eyeball. So we'll do so. Alright. Now, is there anything else to really say about his eyes? I guess he's got like little shades of like yellow throughout them. So we'll add in just like a couple of flecks of yellow and then make them really small with the brush. And I want to make that eye a little bit more reflective for whatever godforsaken reason. Oh, jeez. Let's reshape this eye a little bit, and let's make it so that Frampt is looking right at you. Okay, looks horrifying. Let's actually flesh in more of his eye with a little bit more shading. Okay, that's unfortunate. That is really, really unfortunate. Alright, so Frampt kind of has like weird wrinkles around the top of his head here. So we'll add that in, and then we'll make the wrinkles happen by just like pulling lines through there. There's a couple of swaths of the regular flesh tone like so. And we need to fill back in this part of his face. Alright. Looks good, if you can call it that. Oh god. Alright. We need to add in some shading along this part of his jaw as well. Looks good. And we want to just take this part of his eye, I think. Yeah, let's flesh out a little bit more of his eye ridge here. It's weird to describe it as an eye ridge, but that's about the best way I can call it. I don't want to give him too much blue around his eyes though, because it's starting to look like he's wearing like makeup. So we're gonna avoid doing much more than what I currently have going on here. I mean, he's also got like, basically it looks like lipstick on, so. Ugh. Should really pull up that painting I started of Frampt as a Hydra. So if you like Frampt heads and you like Hydras, just imagine like 1,000 Frampt heads. That's basically what I had going on. I should finish that, but I also have things that I can do that are way more worth my time than making a stupid-ass painting of Frampt from Dark Souls. Cool. That's good. Okay, let's add in some more space between his teeth. There we go. Let's see. We want to add in a little bit like that. Okay. And we want to, let's make the top of his head a little bit more, the highlight there, like match the shaving a little bit more. We want to add in a little bit of a highlight onto the ridge over here. And I guess that does a lot of the hard work for Framped. I want to thin that out as much as possible. Alright, so that's looking relatively Framped-like. Now, I have some requests for ways to make this look stupider. The number one request that I have is to give him a top hat, so we can make him look very fancy. So we're going to make him fancy Framped. Why the hell not? I don't have the colors to do it though, which is very unfortunate. So we're going to give Framped here a propeller beanie. So we'll start adding in propeller beanie colors, I guess. So something like that, and then green, and then purple. But I have no idea how I would possibly draw a hat fitting around Framp's head that looks remotely believable, but I'm gonna just kind of plonk it on there and make do with it. So we'll do. Oh my god, this looks so stupid. This is perfect. Oh jeez. Okay, we'll keep filling this stuff in though. Wow, all this artistic talent. I should have gone to art school. I think I really should have been a painter. You know, you think I could have done it with this sort of level of creativity? I think so. I think that that Passpartout would be more like a documentary on my life rather than a very silly video game that I'm playing here. Okay, so that's looking all right. We need to. I got the angles on the back of the beanie wrong, which is unfortunate because I can't really do a whole lot about it. That's probably as good as I'm going to be able to get. Okay, that looks fine. Let's add in the little stubby part at the top that they're all going to wongle their way into. And we need to add in the propeller, so we'll do this color. Okay, and we'll make it, we'll give it some highlights. Boop. Boop. And I need to thin out this part as much as I can. And maybe just add in a little bit of black at the bottom there. Alright, almost looks convincing enough. A little bit on the thin side, but I think that's okay. And lastly, I need to have the highlighting on this part of the propeller, not the propeller base, not the back part that I was having there. Boy, I really jammed that in at the top there. I'm kind of amazed that it looks like anything at all. Let's see. We'll need to add in something like that. Maybe thin out the top there. Alright, that's looking kind of like a propeller hat. I want to just add in that part. Okay. So give him a little propeller beanie, but this is still nowhere near completed. We want to give him... let's see. Give him a big ol' honkin' monocle. And we'll give it to him on the... we'll do this eye, I think. So something like that. And then we'll add in the chain. Yes, there we are. Very indubitably of him. Very quite, if I may say so myself. And what can I do to... I suggest... Yep, okay, that looks alright. If I wanted to, I could actually add in like a little bit of that. Okay, that kind of looks like reflections on the glass. I'll make it something like that. Okay, close enough. So, that's looking alright. And now we're gonna surround Frampto with a bunch of his favorite things, which is his favorite food, which is a Duke and a Duke and a carrot. Yes, little known fact, Frampto really likes carrots. Something like that. There we go. And we can even put some shading on that carrot. Make it look real classy. It's kind of more like a jalapeno pepper, actually. We need to put the shading in like that. Yeah, that looks more like a bell pepper. I'm not gonna really worry about it too much. Cool. So that is Portrait of a Frampto. We'll go ahead and sell this one and make a assload of dollary dues. Okay, Portrait of El Frampto. Frampto is Spanish for probably nothing. Okay, $4,000. We'll go ahead and just accept that. How much money does Passpartout have? 14 grand. So still coming out ahead overall here. All right. With that, I'm gonna probably go ahead and end this one, and then next time we're gonna actually do the Botticelli that I desire in my heart to make happen. So thank you for watching.